What is happening, YouTube? Welcome back to the Total Athlete vlog, where we are looking to sprint faster, jump higher, and lift heavier. It is Friday today, and that means that we have Final Fridays. Shout out to Blaine McConnell for the idea. Basically, the whole purpose of a Final Friday is that Friday is a day where you go heavy, or you try and hit some heavier weights, or do something incredibly athletic, and you wear a flannel to represent that whole go big or go home mentality, or something like that. I'm sure Blaine could explain it a lot better in his own words, but I just like the idea of wearing a flannel shirt while I'm training. It just seems fun. Anyway, on the menu today, we have some approach jumps. I'm not sure how much volume I'm going to do on them, probably just like 10 minutes to warm me up for snatch. Then I'm going to move into a snatch complex. I haven't decided whether I'm going to go from the floor or from the blocks, but I did bring my weightlifting shoes down today, so I've got no excuse for the snatches. Then I'm going to move into some heavier back squat triples. Then I'm going to finish up with a little bit of calf work, as well as some multi-planar lunges or squats. So very much lower body focused day, starting explosive, moving into strength, and then finishing up with a little bit of isolation and some accessories. Let's get into it. So in terms of the actual height of this setup, I have no idea what the actual height is. I know that I can probably guesstimate it. I would say that that is approximately maybe 34, 36 inches off the floor. I'm not sure, but I'm just going to work on a 2 or 3 step approach. And what I'm really just trying to do is drill the mechanics. So a good thing to aim for when you're doing, well, if you're a 2-foot jumper like I am, is making sure that you have, I'll have to describe it, I have to do it on this side. So I'm close to the camera. So I'm looking for a nice long penultimate as I throw my arms back. I'm looking to hit the ground on my plant step with the outside edge of my heel, so I'm like this. And then as I swing my arms through and I put my block step in, I'm trying to stab the outside edge of that block step into the ground so that I can really transfer that horizontal momentum directly upwards to clear the hurdle. So let's see how that looks. So this is the first jump of the day. I'm cold right now. Best way to warm up for a session is just slightly lower intensity version of what you're doing. Anyway, enough talk, I'm going to start jumping. Not bad. I like to mix up the approaches, so I'm not just doing the same approach every time. I'll do a right-left, I'll do a left-right, but try and make sure that it is somewhat of a similar vein for what I'm doing. So I'm doing kind of jump-specific approach mechanics, but I'll always change where I'm approaching from, whether it's going to be straight on, from a slight curve, maybe a few extra steps, but that's what I'm aiming for today. So I'm going to get 4 or 6 jumps before I increase the height onto the first level of the actual squat rack. It's on the racks right now, but on where the bar would go. So let's go. I'm a little bit temperamental on the landings because those of you that have been following recently have had Achilles strains, and it's usually this type of landing with the jumps that exacerbates the Achilles strain, but I am going to take it as it comes and see how it goes with regards to landings. And if I start to feel like it's causing pain, I'll dial it back. If it still feels good, then we'll keep at it. Got a couple more jumps in, both plants. Ooh, that one felt pretty decent. Get a right left in here. Nice. One idea I did have is to put one of the crash mats down so that I can land on it. But it's where do I put the crash mat down? I know that would drastically reduce the impact force of the landing. But do I put it here and risk tripping over it? Do I put 2 there so I've got a wider base to land on? I think I'm going to give it a shot. See how it goes. a bit more Achilles friendly for this workout. And hey, I'm going to be getting them out for the snatch anyway, so let's see how the landing feels on this one. So we've just elevated it by about 6 inches. See how this feels on the landings. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty nice. I'm gonna have to push them forward just a little bit. That was actually okay. Let's try right, left. Also set a timer. Me being a hypocrite, saying I like to time my workouts just so I can control the amount of intensity and then don't even start a timer. Let's start a timer from now. That's actually quite soft on the landing, I like that. Only thing I'm slightly worried about are the pads slipping out from underneath me if I'm coming in from this angle, but who knows. Let's see how it goes. Control the landing. Nah, that's good, that's good. Let's get another right left before we increase the height again. See, one thing I always struggle with when I'm trying to increase the intensity of my right-left approach jump is I think I tend to, when I do the block step, I try and just do it with the heel because it feels more natural for me to just put heel, heel. Kind of like you're digging in to do, or just to like stop yourself. But that block step, the last step before you take off, should really be like a slice, like you're trying to cut into the ground with the outside edge of your foot. It really will increase, it really will increase how high you can actually jump if you optimize for jump technique. Like it's probably one of the simplest ways that a lot of people can increase their vertical jump height by a very significant amount. Like it's a highly technical movement, 2-foot jumping, and it can sometimes take months, if not years, to actually master the technique for the jump, let alone being able to utilize that technique for some kind of dunking skill, like a windmill or something. Is a skill in and of itself, so that's why I did want to do a little bit of more technical jumping rather than just like doing a bunch of random different jumps in a general way. There is value to that, don't get me wrong, but practicing the skill is one of the best ways to get good at the skill. Do the thing to get good at the thing sounds like an obvious idea. All right, let's see if I can clear this. Easy. See if we can do it with a right left though. That will be a different story. Healed it again. Right, I'm gonna do another right left. See if I can actually do proper plant mechanics when I land this time. Decent block step with my left foot. That's more like it. Much more like it. Cool, happy with that. Feeling like I'm getting a bit warmer. Let's increase the height one higher. This is actually such a hack, guys. If you've got a squat rack like this, and you've got like a little PVC pipe or something that will fall off quite easily if you hit it with your leg and it will fall down, and you don't have access to like a basketball hoop or a high object that you can touch, this is probably one of the simplest ways that you can add an external constraint to your jumping. Something that's going to mean that there is a consequence if you don't make the jump. You're going to clip this. You have to get your feet high enough. You have to jump high enough in order to clear it. But there's not like a severe consequence, like you're going to break a leg or something if you fail it. Unless you really fuck it up. But hopefully we won't do that today. All right, so that is on the second rung of the squat rack. We've got 2 holes on the side. This height should be okay on both plants. I think it's the next one or the one after where I usually struggle, but let's see. Oof. Yeah, that was decent. That was a decent height over the hurdle. Let's try this one with the right left. Good stabbing block step. Bam. Let's get it. Not bad. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but on my right-left approach, I am definitely a lot slower, hence why I'm not clearing it with as much like horizontal displacement. I'm sort of just getting over it and then coming straight down. It's just because like I have a naturally more dominant left-right plant, so this I always jump way higher off of than the right-left, but only way to get better at it is to keep practicing. Once I reach a height where that disparity is obvious, I am just going to do left-right and get as many attempts in with the left-right as I can before I completely cut off the right-left. But we can go a little bit higher. I'm going to do one more on each side on this one just to get a little bit of extra volume in. We'll see how this goes. Nice. Then we will do our right-left. A little bit more horizontal speed on this one. Yeah, that was decent. That was decent. We will jump up the height one extra rung. Good. 3 clips, or 3 increments on each side. So that's kind of like a bit above belly button height. Belly button's there. I would say that that is probably something in the region of, I'm 6 foot tall. That's like 1.5 foot less than I am. So like what, 4'6"? I don't know. Don't have a tape measure. All I know is it's 3 dots on the side. If I jump 3 dots, me happy. If I miss 3 dots, me angry. Should be able to clear this just fine. Decent. That felt aight. Let me just check this mic is actually working. It's still turned on. Yeah, it's working. It's all good. I've got a little hack here. Put the mic in the hat. You shouldn't have to hear too much mic interruption. Can do the full workout. And I can hide my receding hairline. Even better. Right, let's get it right left. This one might be a bit of a challenge, but I think I'll be able to clear it relatively comfortably. Nice. Nice. What I'm kind of tempted to do right now is just give myself a little bit more room to approach, just so I can get a bit more velocity into the takeoff. Because I want to clear a little bit higher. I think that should be all right. And then I'm just resting the stick on there so it's just barely on, so that even if I tap it in the slightest with my foot, just ever so slightly, it should fall off. Just move that apart a little bit more. That should be perfect. So this is just a regular wooden stick. I think it used to be a broomstick. It's stiff enough to like cause some resistance when your foot hits it, but even if I just slightly tap it, it's going to fall off. So it's not going to be completely unsafe. For example, if I put the barbell there, and if I hit that with my leg, I would definitely know about it. And I would definitely stack it. All right, got way more approach now. This should be a lot easier. Let's have a little look. Yeah, that's decent. I'm not gonna lie, having these pads down here is definitely making it a much softer landing for my Achilles. Usually within a jump workout, if I start to feel from the landings that my Achilles is getting a lot of strain, I'll feel it in the workout, but it's feeling totally fine right now. So this could be a good little hack to gradually reintroduce jumping for you guys. Any of you guys experiencing Achilles or even patella tendon issues, give it a go. See how it works out for you, and then let me know how it goes. Anyway, let's get this right left plant. I think I should be able to get this, and then we'll jump it up to 4. That's the real boundary. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Cool. I think 4 should be fine on the left-right plant. Oh, that's so loud. That's another thing that makes this external constraint setup not annoying, but it definitely adds another level of stimulation. That there's a lot of echo in this hall or this parking garage, and when that stick hits the floor, it makes a really loud noise and it echoes everywhere, and that's not the most pleasant thing to hear. So it's kind of like you didn't jump right, loud noise, disappointment. Or when you do make a successful jump, no loud noise, and you get a feeling of accomplishment. So especially for working out on your own, you need to have, for jumps or any kind of like explosive work, you need to have some kind of external constraint that shows whether you did it successfully. And if you're like me, where you don't have all of the jump mats or vertex or timing gates like free lap timers, then you need to get a little bit creative and do it a little bit more simply. And this is one of the simplest ways I can think of doing it. Nonetheless, less chit chat. That's going to be my catchphrase. Less chit chat, more lifting or more jumping. So we're at 4. This is, I would say, probably about 50 inches maybe 48, 46, something like that. I should be able to clear this comfortably with left-right. I've cleared it with the right-left before, but haven't been doing a lot of jumping recently for my Achilles. But got to start somewhere. Got to work back into it. Ooh. I cleared it, but then on the way down, I hit it with my butt. I think I need more speed coming into the jump to clear it more horizontally. But I'll count that as a clear with the left-right. Be interesting to see how I do this with the right-left. Well, let's give it a shot. Ooh, this is going to be tough. So right, left, again. Trying to focus on good quality technique, but as the constraints get harder and harder to hit, then the technique can often go out the window and you'll just do what you think you can jump highest with. Same thing with lifting, same thing with anything technical. Anyway, less talking, let's clear this hurdle. So I stacked it at the last, I gave up at the last second there. I could have made that. I think I could have made that. Sometimes you just need those failed reps to stimulate you to try harder on the next one. I think I'll make it this time, or at least I'll commit to it this time. Fuck. My goodness. Stop being such a pussy, Max. Come on. You can do it. Right, I'm making it one more time with the right-left, and then I'm making it with the left-right. Build up the confidence with the plant that I'm good at, and then I'll try it with the right-left. If I definitely can't make it with the right-left, like I actually commit to it and I can't make it, then I'll just do a few more reps with the left-right, and then we'll go from there until the timer goes up. We're at 13 minutes at the moment, so we'll say 2 more minutes of jumps, and we'll see where we're at. What is happening? My goodness, guys. Just commit and clear it. See, left, right should be easy. I cleared that pretty easily. Just got to make it with the right, left by actually committing, and then I'll be good. Woo. Need an audience like they do in long jump or triple jump. Everyone start clapping with me. Start clapping with me at home. See if I can actually clear this. Okay, commit and just make it over. Even if you hit it with your foot, it's not a problem. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank God that stick wasn't on there too tight. Okay, I'm clearly not going to make it over today with the right foot. I actually committed that time, or mostly committed. I'm going to clear this 2 more times with the left, right, and then I'm going to get into my snatches. Ugh. And that sucks because I know that I used to be able to do a right-left. So, hey, if you stop jumping for a while, guess what? Your jumping ability is going to go down, especially the specific type of jumping that you want to improve, which for me is a full approach jump. So I need to start incorporating more of these back into the training. Achilles tendon allowing. Right, 2 more clearances. I want to clear it nicely. Get right the way over. Nice full extension. Let's give it a go. That was nice. That was really nice. I am amazed that I can't do this with a right-left. In fact, you know what? I'm going to make up for the fact that I'm not making this with a right-left by increasing it to 5 and doing a left-right. See if we can't get a PR. Is that the same height? That is indeed the same height. All right. So if I can clear this, that'll be the highest I've ever jumped with left-right on this stick setup. I'm not even going to bother attempting it with a right-left, but if I can clear this with left-right, that will still be some good positive juju for my ego, my jumping ego. Which is definitely a thing, guys. If anyone here has ever tried to increase their vertical jump, there can be a whole mental inner game that goes on when you're actually jumping, especially if you're by yourself. You're worried and you're getting into your head and overthinking it. Oh, can I make the jumps? Am I jumping lower today? Is my training even working? And oftentimes it's that whole narrative in your own head is what actually causes you to jump very low. Oftentimes it's when you get out of your head and into your body and just focus on the workout and get done what you need to get done, then oftentimes you will jump higher and you'll test higher on your max vertical or max broad jump, whatever it is you're doing. Okay, let's clear this and then we're doing some snatches. I think I can do it pretty easily. So this is probably about, I don't even know. If I'm 6 foot, what is that? Like 1.5 feet below my head, maybe a foot below my head, just below 5 feet, I would say. High 4 foot, low 5 foot. Let's give it a go. No way did I clear that completely. Yo, that is so sick. All right, end on a high. I cleared it and I was tipping forward and I was tucking my legs. Just don't clip it, don't clip it. No, that's good. I'm happy with that. Cool. So, jumps complete. I am going to pop on my weightlifting shoes, get myself set up for some snatches. Oh, complex today. I'm feeling I want to do a high hang power snatch. Something from a high hang, something nice and explosive. And then I also want to do some kind of full snatch variant as well. So I'm thinking high hang plus a full from the blocks might work quite nicely because the high hang doesn't really matter. I can still pick it up off the blocks. High hang power snatch, really emphasizing that pull with the upper body and catching high, and really trying to get as much hip extension as possible. One thing I love about snatch in comparison to a clean, yes, it's lower weight. You can't load it as heavily, but you can really get a nice full hip extension on a snatch because you've got to yeet the bar much higher. The bar isn't going to your shoulders, it's going at least, 2 foot higher, from shoulders to overhead, depending on how long your arms are. So you really have to extend into the bar with your hips and just send it. But that's also the reason why the snatch is a lot more temperamental and it can be a bit more tricky to get right with the technique, especially teaching it for the first time. My goodness. Much harder to teach the snatch than it is the clean. But nonetheless, I'm just going to make sure the camera is got me in shot before we go into the snatch. Yeah, we're good there. That is perfect. Cool. So I'm going to warm up with my regular snatch warm up. Whew. Need to warm up my wrists as well for snatch. But best way to warm up is to do the thing. You don't need to be doing loads of crazy mobility exercises. You don't need to be doing loads of crazy glute activation, hip activation, like ankle activation drills. Do the thing to warm up for the thing and to get better at the thing. Like every rep you do in the warm up is a rep that you can practice the technique. So it's the most specific way that you can warm up and also get better at the exercise. Nice. Pulse feeling good. Ooh. I can feel I did enough body workout yesterday. So one thing that I'm really practicing with this turnover is letting go of my hook grip, because I've got quite mobile wrists and shoulders. I'm just quite a mobile guy naturally. I do have the ability to hold on to my hook grip in the snatch, but it's so uncomfortable when I do it, and it is incredibly painful if I overflex my wrists or overextend my wrists. So I'm really just practicing in the warm-up drills the things that I need to focus on. Ooh. Okay. So 10 snatch pull, 10 snatch turnover, 10 behind the neck snatch grip press, and then I'm doing 10 overhead squats. Oh. Actually, no, I think I'll do 5 snatch balance and then 5 overhead squats, just to really warm me up for that snatch. I lost count. Let's do 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Really what I'm trying to do with these exercises in the warm-up is just get a pump in all of the working areas that the snatch is going to be requiring that I work. So legs, shoulders, wrists, elbows. Already I can feel the blood rushing to those areas that it wasn't rushing to when I was doing the jumps. But the jump's primary purpose was to activate my nervous system. When you do a jump, you're going to recruit so many motor units because you're going as fast as you possibly can to jump as high as you possibly can. Anyway, let's chit chat. More lifting. 5 snatch balance. And then 5 overhead squats. Cool. And then before I load the bar, I am going to do a slightly higher rep version of the complex I'm actually going to do on the day, and then just picking something to emphasize that is particularly weak with my technique. So for me, the weakest point in my technique at the moment in the snatch is my third pull. I've got a pretty weak third pull, and that's because I've got, as I said, mobile hips. I tend to rely on my ability to drop under the bar fast and just get underneath it quickly, rather than actually cueing a nice, strong extension and pulling it as high as you can, and then having more time to slow the bar down and catch it, and therefore be more stable. At least that's my understanding. But that's kind of my thinking why I'm doing a hang power plus a fall from the blocks. Anyway, let's give it a shot. So we'll do 3 plus 3, hang power. That was better. And we'll do our hang falls. Or at least in the blocks anyway. Ooh, that feels good. Okay, now that I've done all that warm up, I can get into loading the bar. I could just jump up straight to 60 if I was in a rush, but I'm in no rush today. I'm going to start with 40, do a set with 40, do 50, do a set with 50. Sometimes what I was doing a lot when I was doing like an actual programmed weightlifting program where I was just weightlifting, this is what I was doing back in like December 2022, January 23. I would do 2 sets and then do 20 kilo jumps. So I do 2 sets of 40, jump to 60, 2 sets of 60, jump to 80, and so on. Or I'd even just do 2 on every single 10 kilo increment. That's not necessary if you're already technically proficient, but if you really are trying to build up your technique in the snatch, every single warm-up set should be treated like it's technique work. It's dynamite for working on technical work, and it's serving a purpose because it's warming you up for the heaviest weights anyway. So let's see how this feels. We'll do a triple here again. From blocks. Whew. What I really like about going from a power into a full is that with a power, because the bar is having to be caught higher in that quarter squat position, you really do have to pull it a lot more. And so going straight from a power into a full really cues that upper body engagement with the third pull and pulling yourself under the bar, but also pulling it up as high as possible. Cool. Anyway, that was 40. We'll jump to 50. I'll probably do triple with 50 now as well. Then, if I'm feeling brave, I'll do a triple with 60 as well. And then I'll just go down to doubles and probably even singles. Because it is Final Fridays, I do want to work up to heavy 1+1. For my 1RM on this lift, which I set last week, I did 90, 1+1. What I'll be really happy with is if I do more than 1 set of 90, 1+1, and it feels good, or even 92.5, or hell, if it feels really good, send it 95. But I don't know. We will see 1 set at a time how we're feeling. From blocks. Ooh, that one got way too far forward. Okay, that was okay. I feel fine to jump to 60. But I'm definitely gonna do 2 on the 60s, not 3s. So that's 2 hang powers, and then 2 fulls from the blocks. That should feel okay. Just making sure on that last rep of the full from the blocks, I am really getting straight underneath the bar and not letting it get too far away from me in this horizontal plane. Just keep it nice and vertical. So it just means bending your elbows more in the turnover. Okay. So right now, I should, in theory, have all of the weights out that I'm gonna need for the top set. I've got 60, 80, plus 5 on each side, 90. So, do I tempt fate and put out an extra 1.25 on each side? Or dare I say an extra 2.5? Maybe. I'm gonna do it just in case. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but we'll see how it goes. Imagine me going through all this effort just to miss 80. Wouldn't that be funny? All right, so 2 powers, 2 block fulls with 60 kilograms. Keep close. Much better. That was A-okay. A-okay. Right. Now, I am going to get my straps out and jump to 70. Purely for the first 2 powers. If I was going for the blocks every single rep, I wouldn't need them as much. But especially when you're going from the hang, you can really get a much higher bar speed if you're using straps. I think it really helps out a lot with just speed in the pull. I wouldn't say completely rely on straps too much, coming from like a completely amateur level weightlifter, but definitely don't rely on straps too much. But if it helps you get a new PR, then go for it. Why not? Right, a few more seconds rest, then I'm gonna hit, I think this will be the last or the second to last set that I hit doubles with, and then we'll jump to 80. See how this feels. If this feels like super light, super easy, then we'll try doubles with 80. If it feels pretty difficult, then we'll keep it as singles afterwards with straps. Don't forget your straps, Max. Okay. Decent. Pretty decent. That was right on the borderline of between feeling average and feeling good. I'm gonna be an absolute madman and try power double with 80, power block full with 80 for a double. Honestly, when in doubt, I will usually try and push the weights. Maybe that's just a masculine thing to do, wanting to see how heavy you can do. It has its benefits and it has its drawbacks. There's kind of 2 schools of thought when it comes to ego lifting, in my opinion. The first school of thought is the type of guy that's like I just said. I guess you could say like myself. You want to just constantly push the weights so that you can feel bigger at having a bigger number. That's one type, probably the more common type. But there is the second type of ego lifter. This is the type of guy who is so obsessed with his technique and his form and just making sure that the reps are just absolutely identical every single time, and he's always overanalyzing every single thing about his form. And he's just so afraid to actually push himself because he's afraid that he might have a 1 degree hip shift to the right, or his back might not be in a perfectly neutral position, that he never actually makes any serious gains. He's still stuck at intermediate level after being a lifter for, 4 or 5 years. We all know that type of guy. We all know who they are, he is, she is. And it's tragic because I would much rather be the guy that tried too hard and maybe was lifting a little bit too heavy for his ability than the guy that's so afraid to actually push the weights that they just never make any progress. That would be so sad. And, it's not like those are the two, you're either this or either that. We all fall somewhere along the spectrum there. No one's ever going to be completely in the extreme one way or completely in the extreme the other way. And maybe on different exercises, you're in one camp, and on another exercise, you're in the other camp. You push it too hard, and the other one, you're too scared to push it. But it's good to know that there are those two extremes, and to be aware of which exercises you are a little bit too confident on, a bit too over-cocky, and the other exercises where you could maybe be a little bit more cocky, a bit more confident. Just my 2 cents, though. Anyway, I'm wasting breath talking. Let's try a double with 2 powers, 2 block fulls with 80 kilograms. This will be really good if I get this, because then I would feel very confident about jumping up to 90 for a single. Let's give it a go, though. That's the hard part. One more. Oh my God. I'm surprised I actually made that. Second rep was a little bit ugly. A little bit of like a forward shift to stand that up, but we take those kind of W's. That's a W for me. So, I feel confident enough with how that moved for a double on 80 to go up to power single, block full on 90. I don't know. I can't see my form and watch it back while it's recording, but maybe you guys with the benefit of hindsight can comment below. Max, you probably shouldn't have jumped to 90. You probably should have stuck with 80, or maybe did a smaller jump to 85. But that felt okay. Intuitively, I feel like I can just about do 90 and then do 90 for a full. At least in my head, I think. Maybe I'm just in that first camp, I'm too overconfident on snatch. I don't know. That's just what's going through my head as I'm doing it. But realistically, if 90 goes well, I think I'll keep it at 90 and take a second set. Like I've already done this weight before for 1 set. If I can get 2, that's progress, that's a win. If I can get 3, that's mega progress, that's really impressive for me. If I don't, then I can jump down to 85 and still feel somewhat okay about hitting 85 for a single. Or if I'm feeling completely crazy, see if I can get an 85 kilo power snatch double and block snatch double with 85. But we'll see how it goes. Definitely need a little bit more rest here. I was feeling very gassed after that last set. Okay. All right. It's just dawned on me that is a 10 kilo jump from what the last set was. Uh, Sometimes I have this extreme moment of like self-doubt and questioning myself right before I'm about to move a like relatively heavy weight for myself. Like, oh, did I really just make that big of a jump? Should I have made that jump? And I guess we're about to find out now if those thoughts are true. But I'm also thinking that I can do this, and it's definitely possible for me to do it. So let's give it a shot. Okay, let's just fucking send it. Ugh. Final Fridays, come on, guys. That's the power. Let's get the full. From the blocks. Ah, idiot. Absolute idiot. I did answer a question for myself there, though, that was, if I fail a snatch behind while I'm wearing straps, am I going to dislocate my shoulders, or can it just release? And turns out you can release them from behind. Oh, I don't know how close I was to making that. The power was kind of ugly as well, like it was a very, very big starfish. Made a post earlier today on Instagram about how starfishing isn't necessarily a big problem on powers, but it was a pretty egregious starfish. Now I'm in that dilemma. Do I do 85 or do I try again at 90? High risk, high reward would be to try 90. Conservatively, it might be nice to try 85 and then go back up again. But, nah, you know what? I'm going to try 85. Hopefully the single with 85 on both should feel a lot nicer. I'm also going to put the clips on. Rather than being an absolute mad lad and letting the plates roll around all over the place, we'll try 85. If 85 moves really well, I am going to try 87.5. If 87.5 moves well, then we'll jump it back up to 90. I'll be incredibly more fatigued by that point, but I think that's the safe and smart thing to do. Okay, so we're 5 kilos less now. This should be a little bit easier. Let's give it a go. Okay. We'll count that as a make. Oh my God. That's frustrating. It's a miss. But sometimes training goes like that. You have to take the good with the bad. I think, based on how the last 2 sets went, I think a good goal for today would be to get 85, 1 plus 1 for 2 sets. If I can get 2 sets with that, then I'll be happy. I feel okay moving on to the back squats. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna have a little bit of rest. I'm gonna come at it again. I know I can make this weight. It's just incredibly off-putting when you miss the power, because I hit the power of 90. It wasn't the prettiest, but I hit the power of 90. And then kind of like half missing, half hitting the 85 kilo power. I mean, you can't really half hit, half miss. That was a pretty, it was a close miss, we'll call it. And then missing the full. I think I got in my head a little bit too much about missing the 85 power when I thought it was going to be easy. All right. I think I can make this now. I mean, count that both as a make. Left arm was a little bit all over the place. Always is on snatch for me. But I'm going to take that. And I'm going to do 2 more sets with that. Prove to myself that that make wasn't a fluke. And then from there, we've got a good reference point of where my snatch ability is at the moment. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. The other important thing in moments like this, when you have just had some unsuccessful misses, is to stay present with the workout and not spin off in narratives in your head like, oh, I'm getting weaker, or if I just did this, if I just slept better last night, or if I just had better nutrition for the workout. It's like, no, this is the case. This is the workout that you're in right now. Be present, stay centered, stay focused, and just get the reps in. And just remember that it's all part of a larger process. What is one workout in the space of 5 years, 3 years, 10 years, whatever it is? One workout is nothing. It's next to nothing when it comes to what your progress is going to be in the long term. You know, losing progress on one workout is not the end of the world, and you shouldn't catastrophize. I don't know how you pronounce that word, but don't worry too much about it. Even if you miss all the lifts, there's something that can be gained from failing reps, even if it is just learning what you should do differently next time. Right. Same again. 85. 401 plus 1. Let's make this look smoother. More powerful lockout with my arms and a stronger pull underneath. Oh, yes. That was much better. Much, much better. Oh. Making a lift is such a rush of dopamine that even after I made the 85, I was like, fuck it. Let's jump it back up to 90 for the last set. But I don't know. I feel like 87.5 is a somewhat safe bet. I don't know. I'm gonna do it. That's what my heart's telling me. Sometimes you do just have to go with your heart. And sometimes you do have to go with your head as well. Whether you're thinking, you know, if you're a very rational thinker, you probably, like me, you get a little bit excessively rational sometimes. You overthink things too much. A very common problem if you're a guy, which is like 99.5% of you watching this video. And sometimes it can be good to listen to your heart, as woo-woo as that sounds, but sometimes there is just something inside you telling you, hey, you could do a little bit more. You just know it intuitively. And if you're a very emotional thinker, you tend to be a bit more emotional, which sounds kind of weird to think because we all have emotions and everyone lets emotions kind of like push them around all day, and we're just rationalizing that to ourselves. But if you are a bit more an emotional thinker, then maybe it would pay dividends to think a little bit more logically about your lifting rather than just trying to, you know, max out every single time, or, you know, not try hard enough every single time, not to try and push the weights every single time. It really depends on your like individual makeup, your personality, and your mindset. But I think we all fall into the first camp sometimes. I think we all fall into the first camp a lot of the times actually there. So sometimes you do have to think with your heart a little bit more when you're lifting. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. I have no fucking clue. I just want to get this last set done so I can move on to my back squats. Maybe 87.5 was a mistake. Only one way to find out. All right, that was decent. I'm going to move on to some back squats now. I'll take that as the last rep of the snatch. All right, a little time-lapse transition there. Magically, we're on the back squats now. So this will be my second warm-up set. I just did a warm-up set with the weight that was there for the snatch, like 87.5. I was doing some pause back squats with that. I think I'll do a set of 2 pause back squats and then just 3 back squats fast as I possibly can with 100. See how that moves with a stretch reflex in the bottom. And tentatively, like, I am really not sure what weight I'm going to get up to today. Last week and week before last, I was like quite comfortably hitting 150 for 5. I almost got 5x5 with 150. But the way my legs are feeling today, like, I don't even know if I'll be able to do 150 for a triple. Really, we'll have to see how this squat warm-up goes. I don't know, maybe I'm just doubting myself too much, but let's have a look at this 100. 2 pause singles, or 2 pauses, and then 3 full reps. Let's go. Nice. I don't know. Maybe it could be that I'm feeling weird about squatting in weightlifting shoes again. It's probably been like, I don't know, like 2 months since I've squatted in weightlifting shoes. And in theory, for a guy with femurs as long as I do, and tibias and torso with the length, the leverages that I do, it should be easier for me to squat with heels, but I don't know why, but whenever I wear like 0 drop shoes, I just feel more connected to the ground. It sounds so squat university almost. Like, make sure that you're digging in with your big toe into the ground to make sure that you can really feel the ground and have that tripod foot connection with the ground. But I swear to God, it does feel strange squatting in weightlifting shoes again. And I used to squat in weightlifting shoes every single time I squat. I used to think that it would make me stronger, but this run I've been having with back squat over the last few months, I've literally just been wearing barefoot shoes and I've been hitting numbers that I hadn't hit before. I've been hitting PRs in like my 5s in all of my weights before. So yeah, hitting PR in my 5s. I hit PR for 120. I hit 120 for 21 reps, which is absolutely insane. I never even thought I'd be able to get that weight. At least not as quickly as I did. But it is what it is. Right, this will be 120. I will do the same as I did for the 100, so 2 pauses and then 3 like bouncing fulls. And then after that point, I think I'll jump to 140 for a triple. First one a pause and then 2 fulls. And then I will do 150 and see where we get to. If I can get triple 150, I'll be very pleased today, based on how my legs are feeling right now. Felt okay. That felt okay. Let's jump up to 140. We'll do a pause for a single with 140. Then we'll do 2 bouncing stretch shortening cycle reps with 140 as well. Oh, man. What a day. What a day. So this will be the equivalent of 3 plates right here. For anyone of my American viewers watching, I'm sure a lot of you at this point, like if you're into weightlifting and you're American, you've probably learned to accept the fact that the rest of the world uses kilograms and pounds are. I'm not saying they're an inferior unit of measurement. It's just that you're literally the only country in the world that uses them. The other, like 7 billion people on the planet, are very familiar with kilograms. So, and weightlifting, Olympic weightlifting at least, is international global sport. They use kilograms. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just because pounds is a bigger number. Like, it sounds more impressive to say 660 pounds than it does say 300 kilograms. But like in real terms, the weight is exactly the same. Just say 300 kilograms, dude. I know that that's like what you've grown up with. If you've grown up with pounds and pounds feels like it's the most, thing that you have like a reference for, then cool. But at least learn to convert. It's a simple equation. Divide it by 2.2. Not hard. You've got a calculator. But yeah, screw freedom units. Oh, all right. Okay. So pause single with 140, and then 2 stretch reflex doubles, and then I'm just doing triples, regular weights from there on. Hopefully this will feel good on the pause. Let's feel it. Okay. Oh my god. What the fuck is happening? That last rep on 140 felt so odd. So odd. It's like my torso angle changed like 3 times. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know if it's because the pause rep like fatigued me for the second 2 reps, but I'm gonna conservatively go for 150 for a triple. I will be happy with that today. Got plenty of time to gradually increase the intensity of triples. Just seems kind of odd that only a week ago, I was very comfortably hitting, well, not super comfortably, but I was quite comfortably hitting 150 for a set of 5. Very, very peculiar. But that's where we're at today. No point worrying about last week. If 150 is a complete struggle today, then we'll drop it. We're still gonna hit 3 sets of 3 on the back squat with a relatively heavy weight. Like relative is the key word there. Not relative to how strong I was last week, not relative to how strong I was last year, relative to how strong I'm doing today. And if that's less than 150, then so be it. When you have workouts like this, where you're feeling like you're not as strong as you should be, then it's also worth noticing that there are also workouts when you're way stronger than you should be as well. That there are workouts where sometimes just your nervous system is perfectly aligned, like Jupiter and Saturn are like perfectly aligned in the sky, and it's just your day and you're hitting numbers that you couldn't even possibly believe, but you don't think that that balances out for the days when you're feeling weaker. So maybe that's just all copium. I'm just coping about the fact that I've lost such a significant amount of strength over the course of how many days is that? Less than 14 days. But it is what it is. It is what it is. If it feels really weird on this set, I might take my shoes off, but we'll have to see. 150 for a triple. Come on, Max. You got this. Wow. Wow, oh wow, oh wow. That is very disappointing. And that completely sucks. Not even hitting it for a single. Did I just give up there too soon? I really don't know. Right. I'm gonna clean this back up. I'm gonna do a little bit of damage control and see what I can actually comfortably do for a triple today. That might only be 140, which will be very disappointing, but I have no idea. Could just be that there's a little bit too much cumulative fatigue going up in my system right now. I am really, really, really not sure. But that doesn't mean that we give up. We just keep on hammering on through the suck. Right. I am gonna lower it to 140, see how 140 feels for a triple, and then maybe I can salvage a triple with 145. But whew, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to hit a strong triple with 140, like damn. But it's all part of the process. Very long-term process. If this keeps happening to me, but I think it's just weightlifting shoes. Maybe I'm making excuses. I have no clue. I have no fucking clue. It's crazy to think, looking at my squat performance today, that I have hit this weight right here for 9 reps. I have hit 140 for 9, and now I'm struggling to hit it for 3 today. That is fucking insane. My goodness. All right, let's embrace the suck and just take 140 for a triple. Oh man, I don't know. That felt okay. I'm gonna try 145. 2 sets at 145. At least for how today has been, I will be happy with that. Oh my god. Oh my god. But when you have moments like this, when the big final Friday didn't go exactly as planned, and shit really has hit the fan, I guess this is good mental training for, well, this is good mental training for when things just in general in life don't go as you planned. Like, my mind before this workout, I was planning like, yeah, 150 is gonna be a breeze. I'm gonna like hit 155, maybe even 160. It's gonna be for nice triples. It's gonna feel nice and smooth. And this is the reality of how strong I am today. 140 is really not moving that well. I'm just about able to try 145, and that might move a little bit better. But the fact that I failed 150 even for a single just suggests that sometimes it's just not your day, and you have to learn to accept that. But it doesn't mean that you don't come back another day, still finish the workout. This is, I guess you could say, mental training for the difficult parts of life, I guess. Yeah, difficult moments in life. Right. Let's see if we can get this 145 to move at least as well as that 145. That 140 on the last set. Imagine if this was actually because I was wearing weightlifting shoes, and weightlifting shoes just make me squat a lot worse. I have not the slightest or the foggiest idea why I'm squatting so poorly at the moment. Right, 145 for a triple. Let's get after it. Oh, God damn it. Oh my God, fuck. My goodness. Oh, this sucks. Oh my God. Damn. The last rep was ugly. It is what it is. In moments like this, all you can say is it is what it is. Honestly, if that camera wasn't recording right now, I would probably be a lot more disappointed in myself, but I guess now that the camera is recording, I need to set a good example that shit like this can happen, and it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes you aren't going to be squatting your heaviest. You can be squatting a lot less than you thought you would, and that's totally fine. I am going to bite the bullet, do one more set with 145, see if I can make that last rep look a little bit better. Perhaps it's because there is just more range of motion for me to have to push through. Like when I'm wearing weightlifting shoes, I'm having to squat much lower into the hole, and there's just a lot more range of motion for me to bounce out of the bottom of. But that just sounds like a very weak excuse. I'm just going to take ownership for the fact that I'm not as strong today as I was last week, and just get on with it. Ugh. Man, getting stronger is a real challenge sometimes, because you do sometimes just have to sit through workouts like this. And it's not even like it's a fluke. You can't fluke strength. If you're not strong and you're feeling like you've gotten weaker in a workout, you then just have to push through to the end of that workout, even though it completely sucks. It's really easy to keep going training when you're getting stronger every single session. You're putting a bit of extra weight on the bar, you're doing extra reps. But when a session like this comes around, it really does suck. It's not the best. And just got to finish the workout, get it over and done with. I've got this, and then I'm going to do 2 more exercises. I think for the single leg exercise, I'm going to do a curtsy lunge, super light, maybe even just with like 60 or 40 on the bar, and then obviously the bent leg calf raises as well. But less chit chat. Let's get this last rep out of the way. Please, 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 can this last rep just feel okay? That's all I want. That's my main focus of today. I feel like a success if the last rep of 145 doesn't feel like complete hell. Okay, this is the one that I've got to focus on. Much better. Much better. Oh man. That's okay. All right. I'm gonna strip the bar. I am gonna get a couple sets of curtsy lunges in. I'll probably do sets of 15 or 20, well, an even number, 16 or 20. Nice and light, get some multi-planar work in. Then I'll probably do a similar weight on the bent leg calf raises as I did on the squats. Maybe like that 130, 140 range. And I'll get a couple sets of 10 or 12 reps. Cool, right. Weightlifting shoes are coming off for this. And we are getting the barefoot shoes back on for the curtsy lunges. Right. So, did I say 16 or 20 reps? What is going through my mind? 12. 2 sets of 12, 50 to 60 kilograms. I think that will be an optimal weight today. And then we will get into those bent leg calf raises. And we will call it a day. Okay. All right, curtsy lunges. What I'm really focusing on these is trying to get a nice stretch through the whole of my glute and the whole of my IT band. As I come across here and stepping, ideally I'd get my knee to the floor. Sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable with the toes, but I'm trying to get into this position here, and then I'm pressing sideways out of that position. So there's a nice frontal plane component there. It's nice to mix in a little bit of non-sagittal plane dominant focused leg work sometimes, just to add a bit of variety. And hey, who knows? This might make my legs feel a little bit better after those squats. Okay, 12 reps. Let's get after it. That was nice. If you've never tried those before, I would highly recommend them. I don't think I've ever had an exercise where I really feel a good stretch across like my glute medius, like my external rotators of the hip, as well as all the way down into my IT band. Very nice movement. I would say the main benefit of this is just adding some variety to your leg training. Oftentimes, a lot of movements that we program in S&C are sagittal plane dominant, and for good reason. You can load them heavier, and generally the exercises that you can load heavier are most conducive to progressive overload, and they'll have the greatest stimulus on the body. But that doesn't mean that we should completely and totally neglect multi-planar work where, you know, the movement patterns are a little bit more complex, and you have to be, there's a little bit more of a steeper learning curve for those movements, but hey, it really depends on your program and what you need. I think that there's definitely a space for an accessory lift like this in most people's programs, but it is what it is. Right, let's get this next set of 12. Get a nice pump in my glutes and my IT band. Very nice. Okay. That was embarrassing. Okay. Last exercise of the day. I'm going to get into some bent leg calf raises. Purpose of these is just to get a good amount of stimulus on my Achilles tendon so that it does have some nice positive tendon stiffening adaptations. Is that the same height? No, that's the right height. Can be a little bit of a bitch to set these up if you have a setup like I do, where you will have to grab a bench. You will also have to put a plate underneath your toes so that you can get a decent range of motion on the Achilles tendon and the soleus muscle. But trust me, any opportunity you get to load your soleus muscle up, do it, because the soleus muscle is so important in pretty much any athletic activity that you do, whether that's sprinting, whether that's jumping, whether that's any kind of plyometric. It's probably the muscle that takes some of the biggest strain in the leg when you sprint and jump. You can almost think of it as like a shock absorber, like suspension for a car. I'm gonna have to grab that bench that you guys are sitting on. But yeah, it's incredibly important to train your soleus muscle. Soleus muscle is not really going to have any significant stimulus on it if you are just hitting it with body weight. You really need to load it like any other muscle in the body. Really heavily, progressively, more and more over time. And ideally, once or twice a week maybe, and train it to get stronger. Like, program it to get stronger like you would basically any other muscle in the body. Just realized that bar is a bit too high. I'm gonna lower it down a couple of clicks. I think that should do it there. See how that loads. Yep, let's move the bench closer. Oh, that's perfect. This is the setup you want to have. Let me just make sure that after this set you guys can see. I'm not even sure if I'm in frame right now, but this is exactly what the doctor ordered when it comes to any kind of Achilles tendon pain or rehab. This feels super light right now. This is 60 kilograms, but the benefit of doing it with a barbell is that you can load the bar pretty much to your heart's content. You can load it heavily and it will feel really good once you stand up. An incredible pump down the backside of your calf. A little bit awkward to load up and reset, but it is what it is. Cool. Let me just move camera around so that y'all can see me. I'm gonna move it back as well. Oh, that's perfect right there. Good. That's the money shot. I'm going to load this up to 100. One thing I have just realized that I've forgotten is my bar wrap. The bar wrap to cushion my knees. But I think I can handle maybe up to 120. Putting that bar on my knees. I don't know. But yeah, now we're getting towards the end of the workout. I guess we can make a little bit of summarization about how the workout went. Definitely didn't go as planned. Not one of my best workouts, not one of my better workouts. But those are the workouts that build you, I guess. The workouts that really do suck. The ones where you do have to kind of just use a bit of will to push yourself through. those are the ones that when you come back round to, inevitably if you keep training, you're going to have good workouts, and you will have bad workouts again, but it's those workouts where it completely sucks and you don't hit weights that you're expecting to and you're feeling weaker, but you still put the reps in and you still did the desired requisite volume. Maybe you have to manage the intensity a bit, but you still push through, finish the workout, so it is what it is. Right, next set. This is going to feel incredibly uncomfortable on my knees with 100, but I think we'll be aight. It's not too bad. Okay, that's okay. I think maybe to make that a little bit more easy to unrack, I think I might have to lower it one more step. Yeah, let's give that a shot. On each side. I think that'll work. That'll work much better. Okay, top set of 120. We are doing 2 sets of as many reps as possible, really pushing that soleus muscle to failure. I mean, the gastroc to an extent is getting some stimulus. It doesn't get much activation when your leg is bent at the angle that it's bent for me right now, but still going to get some benefit out of it. Ooh, nice. Still, even though I've done, even though that workout wasn't the best, it does feel good to have gotten to the end of it. Like it's over now. But yes. But looking ahead, I've got some sprints tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to doing. I'm going to record those with Antonio. Antonio's come back on the channel, guys. So that's a good sign. That is a good workout to look forward to. We are going to do some curve linear sprints, I think. Some curve linear sprints where we're going to sprint around the corner in the garage. That'll be really cool. Then we'll probably hit some... I mean, we could just do sprints. It might just be nice to just do some sprints, but if we're feeling it, we may also do some weights, like some deadlifts, potentially. The trouble with when you're working out with other people and you have to match their ability levels, like I know Antonio can't do that much overhead stuff because he's got shoulder injuries and, with his wrestling. And, other people that I train with, you do have to sometimes plan the workouts, but it is nice to have workouts where you are with other people. You get the encouragement and the benefits of being in that social situation. Sometimes that can really be an extra benefit to just the stimulus that you get when you're training. Okay, less chit chat, more lifting. This is going to be the most uncomfortable weight for my legs, but it's all right. Oh, that's about as many as I would dare do. Fuck. But it definitely was my my calves that were giving out first there, not my the front side of my knees. There's still kind of a little bit of an indentation where the bar was there. But don't be soft. Don't be soft. That was okay. I think another set of 20 plus reps there with 120 would be fine. And then we will definitely call it a day there. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm not quite able to offer that much value with my thoughts right now. But it's so much easier to edit these videos when I can just take the 2 recordings from the 2 separate things that I recorded, smush them together, and then have a nice long form video for you guys. Trying my best to stay chatting all the way through the video, but there are some times when my mind is just completely blank. And obviously, if I was just recording these workouts by myself, I wouldn't even be talking to myself that much in my own head. So it's a learning curve for me as well, doing long form content, but definitely think there's a lot more potential in long form content. You really get to share a lot more of your personality with the person on the other end of the camera. You get to know me a little bit better, and ultimately that's what I'm trying to do, trying to build connection. And over the course of years and years and years of doing this, which is ultimately what I'm aiming to do with the channel, I just want to keep posting for years, and hopefully people will then be able to get inspired by seeing my progress over the course of that time, so that I can look back and anyone else can look back at this workout on the, whatever it is, November 2024, when it's like 2030, provided we haven't all died in like a nuclear holocaust or some shit like that. We can look back on that time and be like, damn, remember when I missed that 150 for a single and I was complaining about it? Now I'm squatting like 200 kilos or whatever it is. That will be such a richly rewarding moment. So ultimately, you're going to be in for the long haul, in for the long ride, and these are just bumps in the road. Without further ado, though, I am going to get into the last set, and with that, I will call it a day for today's session. Absolutely brutal session. Absolutely brutal. Or maybe I'm just soft. Damn. That pump is insane. Please don't fall over on me. Cool. All right, guys. I really appreciate you if you watched all the way through until this point, or hell, I appreciate you even if you skipped all the way through and you skipped and played at 2x speed or whatever. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope I've been able to offer some value in doing this long form content, or at least some entertainment in watching me fail a weight that I should be hitting for at least 5 reps and missing it for a single. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.